And it's actually T1 to ban away Ashe then. They say, well, we're not going to give you a chance to pick Ashe. Not sure if they were going to, but either way, Corki first pick does remain the same.
I wonder if Faker is going to go to the Yone again. I think looked a little bit uncomfortable in the game. Had some good escapes from some of the engages onto him. So they go Sejuani and Yone. There's some extra synergy there, of course. So certainly could be a strong rotation here in the draft. And maybe he has something else prepared or planned. Yeah, double jungle would be interesting.
Sejuani mid, obviously, will...
Yeah, absorb that Corki Gatling gun. I've got a lot of resistance to shred this. I can't reach him, though.
I mean, Faker could maybe play Viego mid. There was a lot of nodding, so I was getting a bit worried, really trying to grasp at straws. And thankfully, we don't have to see Viego mid. It is just going to be MF. And Guma did look very comfortable on that in game 1, so it's just coming back.
This time, Leona isn't banned, though. So you can just go Ezreal Leona here and feel a lot better about shutting down that MF. Or just go Poppy. So that is a very interesting pick here. We don't really associate Poppy with our east side teams as being a strong jungle pick. It's technically still a flex, but it's more players like Owner, Peanut, Canyon occasionally who pick this one up and dominate the early game with it. So a little bit surprised to see this. But I like it. It's a strong pick.
I feel like you can just pick Leona here if you'd like to deny it. Rel has been pretty strong for Keria, so they're just going to lock that one in instead. They say, go ahead, play Leona if you'd like. And of course, they will save the potential flex of Yone or just the R5 counter pick of the top lane for Zeus.
Yeah, do think that's really safe bet here. Leona feels like a given here, but the Braum is also available this time around. Be quite strong into the lane. Not as great in engage, but you have a Poppy here in this draft as well. The level 1 is incredibly powerful. Even if there's going to be a lane swap, for example, like we saw in game 1, the Braum often does excel at shutting that down or getting a huge advantage. As Jax to be hovered here for Morgan.
Yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of things banned out in the top lane, so it does leave you in kind of a weird spot.
There's not a safe blind pick.
Yeah.
Just period.
No Gnar, no Cannon, no Renekton, no Cassante, Rumble, Aurora.
There's no safe ranged pick into the Jax because Twisted Fate's kind of countered. I guess this is your best
Jace
bet.
Would be the only thing.
Yeah, I think it's your best bet. And
it feels like very weird with this comp.
You don't have a lot of ways to set up for poke. So it is quite awkward. It feels very gankable as well. GP is actually the answer. I feel like GP is way better. Ooh. I kind of forgot about GP, but they're going to go for the Jace instead. I think Zeus is perhaps more comfortable with this pick. It does have some synergy with the Sejuani. So does the GP, but anyways. The Yone Jace setup here is very awkward. You can just chip away at health bars and then Rel goes in and the Misfortune kills everybody instantly, but you still have to play into the Braum. The Braum is going to be able to block a lot of that damage. You have the Poppy to threaten any pushing lane, so if Zeus tries to get ahead, he will be under threat of this Poppy. Poppy's great into Yone, as we've discussed many a time.
Yeah, I guess...
with this draft in Game 2.
Well, let's see what happens as we hop into the Rift for Game 2.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Game number 2 coming on in. Faker playing his 3rd game of Yone in the LCK ever. As was mentioned before, if you missed it, his first game was in 2023 spring into Zeka's Kassadin.
Yeah.
And it lost. And his second game was the first game of this series.
That's right. So doubling up here. Very strong pick in this meta. I think you have to be versatile enough to play it if you're going to be a top contender in playoffs. Great ward setup here with the Braum. They can use the level 1 to get this line of wards. They have full vision on lane swaps, on where the jungle is going to path. I don't think Guma can skirt this. Will be seen. Right?
Yeah, there's just no way to get past those 2 wards.
I got tricked by the toggle, though. I was like, I'm pretty sure they see him. There's no way he actually went through there. He's hesitated for a moment and is then seen. So they're very aware of this, and this is what I was talking about, the Braum level 1. You get to scout the lane swap, and then you get to really put the pressure on here in the bottom lane.
So, where's Morgan going?
Well, that is the question at the moment.
Lord Morgan has greater plans.
He's just going to stop the Sejuani from jungling. And lane, but we'll be able to take this dragon as well as Fate laning well into Faker again.
Yeah. Just quirky things. Also, we did have Palu making his way up, so Faker eventually just realizes, well, I got to get out of here.
I don't remember if he did it in Game 1 as well, but he took first strike here in Game 2, so he's going to have some additional income into this melee matchup. So Corki's 2-item spike should be relatively accelerated because of this. I do like to see that. And pay no attention to the level 6 advantage here, because it is Jace. But going to be the Jax being able to trade anything back as Owner shows up. As level 6 himself. Pay attention to this level 6.
He has 51 CS. He's just been power farming. And he hasn't done anything else this game, and guess what? It's a very similar first blood. This time it's over to Zeus, though, instead of Guma, like we saw in Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, Owner did such a great job with the vertical jungling as Envy's in trouble.
Hey, he's taking a whole bunch of damage. They push him out before the dive even really begins.
Yeah, I just think that's done. There's no way they can make anything happen here. They lost the wave. I mean, the new wave is coming through, but with Envy being this low, tricky. I mean, he's not going to be the one holding the turret aggro, but still a very risky situation, especially if Guma is close to 6. I don't think he is. Envy just hit his.
Yeah, not quite. Guma's going to back away from the duo as he still has his flash. As now the engage comes on in. Guma is going to be stunned and eventually goes down, but this is a lot that they have to commit to here. They do just trade 1 for 1. I could say that it is good for Bro, though, as it is just their support, I believe, that did go down. Yep, yeah. Braum, and it was Guma as well in the trade.
Exactly, so taking away the 80 carry, taking away his farm. Looking to continue to put that pressure on. Just 2 plates left in that bottom lane. I think the last sliver of health there on that second plate. And did have that level 6 for the gank, as this is scary.
Yeah, just trying to face check into this one. Now Poppy and Braum are very impactful, but the door finally gets held here, but it's still a ton of damage going into everybody as they just stand in it behind the door, but man, they did quite a lot. It's now Envy trying to peel here as we do get the flash away from Young Jay.
Very scary moment there on both sides. Keria does go down, but it's a trade.
We've seen this before, and MF just getting plates by himself.
Yeah, and that is Zeus getting plates by himself in the top lane. Jace will get all of them.
Yeah. And, well, a little bit of a flurry of attacks in the mid lane. But at the end of the day, this 1v1 is going to happen once again. Guma doesn't have his ult, actually. He's taking a lot of damage already as Envy is looking to take this trade, but eventually does elect to back away. Naked Rain comes down. Guma still very low on mana. And Envy might look to push the issue here as here comes Palu looking to land a Q of his own, and it's just going to be Envy and also an assist given over to Palu.
Yeah, Envy just sees blood in the water there, knows Guma doesn't have ult, and he could just weave his W's through the minions and then hit those auto attacks as Envy. They get punished.
Yeah, Envy going for the cleanse as another stun is going to land, and that is just easily collected by Zeus, who is quite fast on the Jace. As now Palu's like, wait, where is everybody? Why am I here alone? What happened? Where am I? He is dead. That's a double kill now for Zeus, who has 3 in the game.
Oh, where am I? Where are we?
It's all very confusing, Wolf.
I told you guys the brew was coffee, so, you know, I feel like I should know where I am, but I'm looking at the game state here, and I'm not 100% sure. Zeus is getting more plate gold. It was only on the map there and where the players were missing, as it's 3 kills for the Jace, and Morgan is really struggling.
I mean, he just basically doesn't exist in this game. It's been really rough for Morgan. Like, he was down there, he was helping push, and he's like, all right, now I'm going to lean against the Jace. And ever since then, it's been really rough. So now we get another engage. It's another Chemtech Soul. Man, is Ox sleeping over there? Like, what's going on? Very sad. Anyway, we'll see if either of the teams care about it this time.
I think that they will not care that much about it, especially considering it's a 1 Drake split apiece. But, you know, T1 have Bro exactly where they want him. I mean, this Jace, we were talking about how it doesn't suit the comp, but it's so far ahead that it can kind of just do whatever it wants because it just takes away like a third of anyone's health bar when a Shock Blast connects. And as you can see, a big group up here for Bro, as they are going to be able to guarantee this turret. Morgan is just being left on an island in the top side and doesn't have a turret there. As going to see any commitment to anything here. The observers are scaring us with the vision toggle. Is somebody hiding behind?
Yeah, I mean, Keria was there. I don't think he is there.
Oh, he is!
He's still here! The long-term gambit, as this is a Corki with flash, so we'll see if he can get out of this one. Yeah, he just, well, presses his flash ability.
In my game 2 of Bro versus T1 Round 2 2024 LCK Summer?
They just don't really have a good answer except bringing the whole team over to stop it, which this time they have. Basically the whole team. 4 members. And Zeus just runs away. Flash comes in from Paulo, and now Faker's going to get a big engage, does get hit away, but now has to come back. Very awkward for him, but he still has his flash, and now they're looking to turn it as the MF ult is going to get some nice damage down and really just taxi the rest of Bro away from this fight. As T1 still on the chase here, Zeus is gigantic. Really hit the shot blast. There it is, goes on to the Jax as Morgan, another one to fall.
I mean, this game is essentially just a wash. I mean, it's a tough matchup for the Jax, but with the extra resources Zeus got and those early kills, I mean, I'm not saying top gap, but I am saying in terms of gold, there is a pretty easy to... Oh boy, Envy.
He's in a bit of trouble. Oh boy, Keria comes out of left field, and down he will go as Faker gonna lock him up, and Palu also on the run, getting taxied down himself. And Shock Blast is going to miss.
T1 just have such great map reads. They have so much experience, right? And they are a top team in the LCK, even if they have stumbled a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean they lost in just one series. No shade on losing to Gen G, because everybody's lost to Gen G. But
it feels like maybe the one person that Morgan could kill is Faker, and now he's got some help from Fate to come on over. Faker's so low, and he will be taken out with that empowered auto. Morgan super low himself, just gonna walk it off, but now he's just gonna disengage with that one and say, we're just happy with the kill.
Yeah, it's Poppy ulted away. I thought perhaps he was gonna go for the snipe play with his ultimate. And every time Bro have to look for one of these picks, they have to use more resources than T1 have to use. So look at this. Zeus pushing top. Well,
oh, that's not gonna work. Nice try, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. He's gonna flash, and again, engage Braum isn't a thing. We know this.
Yeah,
and they're not gonna extend down the lane.
Unfortunately. They're gonna be able to get this bounty on this turret here in the top lane. But the gold lead here is just so massive. And they even get this inner in the bottom. I mean,
yeah.
Every time you look at Bro doing a thing, T1 are doing an equal or greater thing on the other side of the map.
Yeah. Do you think T1 goes for the Drake this time? For some reason, Morgan just gonna let that one charge. I don't really know why.
I mean, it was fairly dark jungle, but the champions in that jungle probably couldn't have killed him. So
it's pretty rare for pro teams to hang around that spot 18 minutes into the game as well.
Yeah. So. I mean, T1 just gonna take this dragon.
Extreme safety for Morgan.
It's not great that charge does go off. It does mean the inhibitor is more exposed to a very, very strong Jace who could potentially be in the sideline. Has his Brutalizer now online. Is going to fully index into lethality now. Has his transformation.
Looking for his Warmogs next.
Looking for this turret here now is Zeus. Another turret for the Jace. More money. And
more money.
More money means more items. Actually, doesn't mean more problems in League of Legends.
Yeah. you gotta have to hold all those.
Not going to be able to get that back.
Definitely third item.
Yeah, I would say so.
100%.
Does he get a third item in this game?
That's another question. That was a nice slow, actually. Make it rain onto 3 people. Guma is very much out of position, but so is Youngjae. He's just going to be taken down, and Guma just blasts away. Meanwhile, the rest of Bro is just on the run as in comes Keria, gets an engage on a 2, but the Braum is doing a good job on the disengage. Not going to help out Envy here as he goes down to Faker's max range ultimate. Going to land it this time. And that is 3 kills over to the side of T1 as they are really running away with this game too.
They may have lost to Nongshim. They may have shaken their fans' faith a little bit, but in game 1 of this series, they were able to lock it up in a late game team fight on an Elder. Some good decision making leading up to it. In game 2, it feels like T1 is just back on the horse, Valdez. It looks like this team is crushing Bro the way you would have expected them to do if you looked back, if you turned back time to before that Gen G series, before the Nongshim series. Yeah. This is the T1 dominance that people expected when they saw the strength of schedule. And a win here for T1 all but guarantees, effectively, that they will be going to playoffs. It's not
a similar, oh no. I thought he was out. I was like, man, Fate, you're okay, right? Okay, flash away, actually, he's playing it very well.
I mean, this teleport, though, means...
Goes back in, and actually, Saves just gonna die. It's 1,000 gold to Corki, but meanwhile...
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The TP means, guess what? Inhib's down. This is, bro, like, every time you think they got a thing, T1 got more things. Again, Valdez.
That has kind of been the name.
That's this game. It's just they're getting out macroed because they're so far behind.
Yeah, they hit their spikes. They couldn't do anything with it. They don't have the Rakan for the engage. They don't even have the Sejuani for more reliable gauge than the Poppy, like they did in game 1. Definitely feels like they took a couple of steps down in this draft, did Bro. And we're seeing kind of the outcome of it.
I mean,
alongside of just, you know, the gameplay.
Brio on the bottom side. Soul Point is potentially on the cards.
Oh, whoa! Did Bro even realize? They're like, oh crap, we gotta get out of here. What do we do? Gigatad goes for the engage, I guess, as now the front line is just being bombarded by MF as everybody comes in. Baker now is going to join the fight, looking for the ult. Everybody backs away, and now Morgan just going to be bullied in this front line, taken out as a lot of low health bars. We'll see if T1 do want to continue on this. Looks like they do. Envy going to dodge the shock blast. And the Siege kind of lackluster from here.
Yeah, I mean, the secondary front line is Guma's ult, and he kept them at bay with that one. They did not have a fun time in the bullet time, and now with the teleport through, T1 looking to take a second inhibitor down and potentially even more super minions in the bottom lane. 2 of them stacked up here. They may be able to Siege to end.
Yeah, I mean, Zeus is level 15, and he's just kind of parading through the base right now, like just waiting for the mid-wave to come in and seeing if anyone's stuck around with low health. Oh, now, okay, there's somebody with low health. He just healed from the fountain, but now he's low health from your shock blast. But either way, T1, they get the inhibitor, they don't have Baron, they're not going to overstay their welcome. But Bro really want to get something out of this, but they just will not be able to.
I mean, T1 has nothing left to take. It's like a Chemtech Soul Point. And there's no more turrets. Yeah, he almost dies. But there's no more turrets for them to grab. Like, besides a top inhibitor, which is basically dead. So T1 are like, well, can we end? We kill somebody, we end.
And then it just timed out. And he's like, oh. And then Morgan goes in. It's like, oh no, this just doesn't look good.
It's disjointed, and the
they
bullet
just run
time
face first and do an MF.
Yeah, the bullet time just says, all right, that's fun and all, but like you're all dying now.
Well, the Bros gave it their all, and they're not done yet. They've got a TP behind T1.
I mean, Faker is trying to end the game. Meanwhile,
this is one way, I guess, to engage, as they are going to get Harriet out. That doesn't really do much. Here comes Baker. Is going to find the backline, just assassinates Envy. That is how far ahead they are, as finally Morgan comes in, but even MF, Guma's just going to ult him in the face and just put an end to this game number 2, as Bros have suffered enough, and T1 are back on the horse. They get 2-0'd, but now they 2-0 Bro, and they're looking back in form, as they will take this 2-0 tonight.
2-0. Game 1 a little rough around the edges. Game 2, a little bit more fun here from T1, but a much more dominant performance as Zeus